You wake up, grab your phone, scroll the feed. An hour later, you're running late, guilt hammering in your chest. The promise of tomorrow I'll change evaporates before your coffee gets cold. But what if I told you that the samurai of feudal Japan had a brutal rule? If you cannot control your morning, you do not deserve to control your sword. They knew something that modern science only confirmed centuries later. Your daily routine isn't just a series of habits. It's the backbone of your existence. The difference between dying with regrets or with scars from battles won. In this video, I'll show you the exact routine that transforms ordinary days into the foundation of an extraordinary life. This isn't cheap motivation. It's behavioral architecture based on ancient philosophy and neuroscience. 5 pillars, 0 room for excuses. If you stay until the end, you'll understand why 99% of people fail before they even begin, and how you won't be one of them. The alarm screams. Your hand shoots out from under the blanket, fingers fumbling for the snooze button. 9 more minutes. Just 9. But those 9 minutes are where your day dies before it even breathes. The samurai believed that how you meet the dawn determines how you face every battle afterward. They didn't roll over. They didn't negotiate with comfort. They stood immediately. Because hesitation is where discipline goes to rot. Your brain, in those first 30 minutes after opening your eyes, is a blank canvas soaked in chemicals. Cortisol peaks naturally at sunrise, designed by evolution to get you moving, hunting, surviving. But we've turned that biological gift into a nightmare. We flood it with notifications, emails, other people's emergencies. By the time you're out of bed, you've already lost. You're reacting instead of creating. You're defending instead of attacking. Here's what changes everything. The first hour belongs to you alone. Not your boss, not your family, not the world screaming for attention. You. This isn't selfish. It's survival. The ancient warriors understood this as joy, the practice of purifying your spirit before engaging with the chaos outside. They would wake in darkness, sit in silence, and prepare their minds for whatever violence the day might bring. You're doing the same thing, just without the sword. Set your alarm for the same time every single day. Weekends included. Your body doesn't recognize Saturday. It only knows patterns. When you wake at 5:30 on Monday but sleep until 9 on Sunday, you're essentially giving yourself jet lag twice a week. Your internal clock gets confused, your sleep quality drops, and you spend every morning in a fog. Consistency is the foundation. Boring? Yes. Effective? Absolutely. When the alarm goes off, sit up immediately. Don't think, don't debate, just move. Plant your feet on the floor. Feel the cold ground under your soles. That sensation is reality punching through the warm lies of comfort. Splash cold water on your face. Not warm, cold. The shock wakes up your nervous system faster than any coffee ever will. It's uncomfortable, that's the point. You're training your body to associate mornings with action, not negotiation. No phone for the first 60 minutes. This is non-negotiable. Your phone is a weapon designed by the smartest engineers on the planet to hijack your attention. Every notification is a small dopamine hit, and dopamine is addictive. When you check your phone first thing, you're teaching your brain that reward comes from external validation, from reacting, from being available to everyone except yourself. Break that chain. Put your phone in another room. Charge it far from your bed. Make it inconvenient. Drink water, a full glass. Your body just went 6 to 8 hours without hydration. Your blood is thick, your brain is foggy, and your cells are screaming for liquid. Before coffee, before food, before anything else, water. It's simple, but simple is what works. The elaborate routines fail because they require too much willpower. This requires none. Just pour and drink. Now stretch. Not a full yoga session. Just 5 minutes of movement. Touch your toes. Roll your shoulders. Twist your spine. Your body has been horizontal and still. Wake it up gently. The samurai called this junbi undo, preparatory movement. They knew that a stiff body creates a stiff mind, and a stiff mind makes slow decisions. You need to be loose. ready, alert. This first pillar isn't about inspiration. It's about installation. You're installing a new operating system into your life, and it starts the second your eyes open. Silence terrifies most people. Not the absence of noise, but the presence of their own thoughts. We fill every gap with music, podcasts, videos, anything to avoid sitting alone with what's actually happening inside our heads. The ancient Zen monks had a practice called Zazen, just sitting. No mantras, no visualizations, just you and the void. And in that void, they found clarity sharper than any sword. You don't need to become a monk, you just need 10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes where you sit, close your eyes, and breathe. This isn't about reaching enlightenment or having some mystical experience. It's about creating space between stimulus and response. Right now, your life is pure reaction. Someone cuts you off in traffic, you rage. Your boss criticizes your work, you spiral. A text goes unanswered, you panic. You're a puppet, and your emotions are pulling the strings. Meditation cuts those strings. Studies show that just 8 weeks of daily practice physically changes your brain. The amygdala, which controls fear and anxiety, actually shrinks. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision-making and focus, gets thicker. This isn't philosophy. It's neuroscience. You're literally rewiring your hardware. Find a quiet corner. Sit on the floor, on a cushion, in a chair. Doesn't matter. Keep your back straight but not rigid. Imagine a string pulling gently from the top of your head toward the ceiling. This posture keeps you alert. If you slouch, you'll drift into sleep. If you're too tense, you'll be distracted by discomfort. Balance. Close your eyes. Breathe through your nose. Don't force anything. Just notice the air coming in, filling your lungs, then leaving. That's it. Sounds simple, right? Try it for 30 seconds and you'll realize your mind is a wild horse. Thoughts will stampede through. Grocery lists. Work deadlines. That argument from 3 years ago. This is normal. The practice isn't stopping thoughts. It's noticing when they appear, then gently bringing your attention back to your breath. Every time you catch yourself lost in thought and return to breathing, you're doing a mental push-up. Your focus is a muscle. Right now, it's weak and flabby because you've spent years letting it atrophy. Social media has trained you to jump from stimulus to stimulus every few seconds. Your attention span is shredded. This practice rebuilds it one breath at a time. The samurai used a form of meditation before battle called mokuso, quiet thought. They would sit in stillness, visualizing the fight ahead, feeling their fear, acknowledging it, then letting it pass like clouds across the sky. They didn't try to be fearless. They tried to be present. Fear exists, anger exists, sadness exists. The question isn't whether you feel them, it's whether they control you. After 10 minutes, open your eyes slowly. Don't jump up and rush into your day. Sit for another 30 seconds, feeling the stillness you just created. That calm isn't weakness, it's power in reserve. You'll need it when chaos hits later, and chaos always hits. Some days will feel amazing. You'll finish and feel like you've touched something profound. Other days will be torture. Your mind will race the entire time, and you'll feel like you've failed. Both days are victories. Showing up is the win. The feeling doesn't matter, consistency does. This pillar connects directly to what you built in the first hour. You woke up with discipline. Now you're sharpening the blade of your mind. A sharp blade cuts clean. A dull one tears and causes suffering. Which one are you carrying into your day? If you want to turn discipline into something automatic, not motivational, the KMA method was built for that. It's a simple daily practice that takes just 5 minutes a day. The link is in the first pinned comment. Your body isn't decoration. It's the vehicle carrying you through every moment of your life. And right now, most of us are driving around in machines that barely function. We're tired by noon. Our backs hurt from sitting. We get winded walking upstairs. The warriors of old understood something we've forgotten. A weak body creates a weak mind, and a weak mind cannot hold strong thoughts. Physical training isn't about vanity. Strip away the Instagram photos and the gym mirrors. What remains is something primal and necessary. When you push your body past comfort, You're teaching your nervous system a fundamental lesson. Discomfort is temporary, but quitting is permanent. Every rep, every mile, every moment you choose to continue when everything screams to stop, that's not building muscle. That's building character. The samurai trained daily in keiko, which translates to practice or training. But it meant more than that. It meant forging. Like a sword folded and hammered thousands of times to remove impurities, they believed the body and spirit needed constant refinement. They would practice their sword techniques until their hands bled, not because they enjoyed pain, but because they knew that in battle there's no time to think. The body must know what to do automatically. You don't need a sword. You need movement. 30 minutes minimum. Every single day. No exceptions. Not when you're tired. Not when it's raining. Not when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. That's when it matters most. Discipline isn't needed when things are easy. It's needed precisely when they're hard. What kind of movement? Whatever gets your heart rate up and makes you sweat. Running, lifting weights, swimming, martial arts, dancing, doesn't matter. What matters is intensity and consistency. You need to feel your lungs burning and your muscles shaking. That sensation is your body adapting, getting stronger, preparing for whatever comes next. Morning is ideal because your willpower is highest. As the day progresses, decision fatigue sets in. By evening, the couch looks much more appealing than the gym. But if you train first thing before the world gets its claws into you, it's done. You've already won the day's most important battle, the one against your own resistance. Start small if you need to. 10 push-ups, a 5-minute walk, something. The goal isn't perfection on day one. The goal is showing up. Your brain learns through repetition. If you show up Monday, then again Tuesday, then Wednesday. By week 2, your brain starts expecting it. By week 4, it feels weird not to do it. That's when the magic happens. The habit becomes automatic and you stop needing willpower to sustain it. But here's the trap most people fall into. They go too hard too fast. They sign up for the gym, train like a maniac for 2 weeks, get injured or burned out and quit. Then they feel like failures, which makes starting again even harder. Don't be that person. Progress beats perfection every time. Add 1 more rep this week than last week. Run 1 more minute. Small, steady improvements compound into transformations you won't believe. Track something. Write down what you did. 5 pull-ups today, 6 tomorrow. Numbers don't lie. They show you objectively whether you're moving forward or fooling yourself. Most people overestimate their effort and underestimate their excuses. Data cuts through that fog. Pain will come. Your muscles will be sore. Your joints will ache. This is your body adapting. There's a difference between productive pain and injury pain. Learn to recognize it. Productive pain is dull, spreads across muscle groups, and fades after a day or 2. Injury pain is sharp, localized, and gets worse with continued activity. Push through the first, rest and recover from the second. Physical training also clears mental fog better than anything else. When you're stuck on a problem, when anxiety is chewing through your thoughts, when you can't focus, move. The change in blood flow, the release of endorphins, the shift in perspective that comes from physical exertion. It resets your system. Writers throughout history knew this. They would walk for hours when stuck. Not to avoid work, but to unlock it. You're not training to look good in photos. You're training to handle stress without breaking, to maintain focus when others crumble, to have the physical energy to match your ambitions. A tired body drags down even the most brilliant mind. Now we arrive at the center of everything. You've prepared your body and mind. You've created internal order. But all of that means nothing if you can't execute when it matters. This is where most people's routines fall apart completely. They do the morning rituals, feel great, then spend the actual working hours scattered and distracted, producing nothing of real value. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a demanding task. It's becoming rare, which means it's becoming valuable. While everyone else is drowning in shallow work, emails, meetings, messages, busy work that feels productive but creates nothing lasting, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to create blocks of time where you produce something that matters. Pick your most important task. Not urgent, important. There's a massive difference. Urgent things scream for attention. They're usually other people's priorities disguised as your emergencies. Important things whisper. They're the projects that actually move your life forward. Writing that book, building that business, learning that skill. These things never feel urgent until suddenly it's been 5 years and you haven't started. Schedule 2 to 3 hours in the morning, right after your physical training. This is when your cognitive abilities peak. Your willpower is fresh. Your focus is sharp. This time is sacred. Guard it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Turn off notifications. Close your email. Put your phone in another room. Tell people you're unavailable. Create a fortress of solitude around these hours. The first 15 minutes will feel uncomfortable. Your brain will itch for distraction. It's been trained to expect constant stimulation. Sitting with one task for an extended period feels wrong at first, like trying to write with your opposite hand. Push through. That discomfort is the feeling of your brain rewiring itself. Work in 90-minute blocks. Our brains naturally operate in cycles called ultradian rhythms. About 90 minutes of high focus followed by 20 minutes of rest. Don't fight biology, use it. Set a timer. Work with complete concentration until it goes off. Then step away, walk around, stretch, look out a window. Let your mind wander. This rest isn't laziness, it's part of the process. Your brain consolidates what you just learned during these breaks. The monks had a concept called ichigyo zamai, wholehearted single practice. When they ate, they only ate. When they cleaned, they only cleaned. When they meditated, they only meditated. We've lost this completely. We eat while scrolling. We work while chatting. We watch shows while texting. We're never fully present anywhere, which means we're not really living at all. Just skimming the surface of a dozen things simultaneously. During your deep work blocks, practice this. If you're writing, only write. If you're coding, only code. If you're designing, only design. Every time your mind reaches for distraction, notice it and gently pull back. This is the same skill you built during meditation, just applied differently. You're training your attention to stay where you point it. Quality here matters infinitely more than quantity. 3 hours of genuine focus produces more than 12 hours of distracted effort. Most people confuse busyness with productivity. They're in the office for 10 hours but actually working for 2. The rest is performance. Looking busy, feeling busy, accomplishing nothing. You'll face resistance. Some days the work will flow. Other days it'll feel like pushing a boulder uphill. Show up anyway. Professionals don't wait for inspiration. They work whether they feel like it or not. That's what separates people who dream from people who do. One more thing, batch your shallow work. All those emails, messages, administrative tasks that genuinely need doing. Don't let them interrupt your deep work. Schedule a specific time, usually late afternoon when your energy is lower anyway, and burn through them all at once. 30 minutes of focused email clearing accomplishes what 2 hours of scattered checking never will. This pillar is where your life actually changes. Everything else prepares you for this. The early wake-up gives you time. The meditation gives you focus. The physical training gives you energy. But this is where you take all that preparation and turn it into something real. Results, progress, work that makes you proud when you lay down at night. Evening arrives differently when you've lived the day with intention. There's no guilt gnawing at your insides, no sense that you wasted hours you'll never get back. But the day isn't over yet. The final pillar is where you close the loop, where you take everything that happened and extract the lessons from it. Most people collapse at night. They zone out in front of screens, numb themselves with food or drink. Anything to avoid thinking about whether they're actually moving toward the life they want. This is slow death, comfortable, but deadly. The samurai had evening rituals just as strict as their morning ones. They would clean their weapons, review the day's training, and sit in quiet contemplation, not because they were obsessed, but because they understood that growth requires reflection. Take 15 minutes before bed. Sit with a journal and answer 3 questions. What went well today? What didn't? What will I do differently tomorrow? That's it. Don't write essays, just honest, direct answers. This practice seems simple, but it creates something powerful. A feedback loop. You're not just living your days, you're learning from them. When you write what went well, you're training your brain to notice wins. Most of us are wired to focus on failures. We remember the one mistake and forget the 10 things we did right. This creates a distorted view of reality where we always feel behind, never good enough. Deliberately acknowledging wins rewires that pattern. Your brain starts looking for things to celebrate, which makes you more likely to do them again. What didn't go well? Be ruthless here. Not cruel. Honest. Did you skip your workout? Why? Were you actually tired or just looking for an excuse? Did you waste an hour scrolling? What triggered it? Did you snap at someone? What were you really upset about? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about seeing patterns. You can't fix what you don't acknowledge. What will you do differently? This is where reflection becomes action. Don't just identify the problem. Design a solution. If you scrolled too much, where will you put your phone tomorrow? If you skipped training, what time will you set your alarm? If you ate junk food, what will you prepare tonight so you have better options tomorrow? Make it concrete. Make it specific. Some nights you'll write and feel discouraged. The gap between where you are and where you want to be will feel massive. Good. That discomfort means you're seeing clearly. Most people live in delusion, comfortable lies that keep them stuck. You're facing truth, and truth is the only thing that sets you free. Put your phone away 60 minutes before sleep. The blue light from screens tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, which suppresses melatonin production and ruins your sleep quality. Poor sleep destroys everything you've built during the day. Your focus crashes, your mood tanks, your willpower evaporates. Protect your sleep like it's precious, because it is. Read something physical, an actual book, not on a device. Something that makes you think or teaches you something valuable. 15 to 30 minutes. This replaces the garbage most people fill their minds with before bed. You're the average of what you consume, and if you're consuming gossip, outrage, and mindless entertainment, that's what your thoughts will be made of. Prepare for tomorrow before you sleep. Lay out your workout clothes. Set up your workspace. Know exactly what your first task will be. This eliminates decision-making in the morning when your discipline is weakest. You wake up and everything is ready. You just execute. The final step, gratitude. Think of 3 specific things you're grateful for today. Not vague things like my health or my family. Specific moments. The way the morning sun felt on your face. The conversation that made you laugh. The meal that tasted exactly right. This practice has been studied extensively. It increases happiness, reduces depression, and literally changes your brain structure over time. Gratitude isn't toxic positivity. It's not pretending problems don't exist. It's choosing to also notice what's working, what's good, what's worth fighting for. Warriors needed this more than anyone. They lived with death constantly. Gratitude reminded them what they were fighting to protect. Sleep at the same time every night. Your body craves rhythm. When you go to bed at midnight one night and 10 the next, you're sabotaging everything. Aim for 7 to 8 hours. Not 6, not 5. You're not special. You need sleep, like you need water. Anything less and you're operating at half capacity, lying to yourself that you're fine. This last pillar isn't glamorous. It won't give you an adrenaline rush. But it's the nail that holds everything together. Without reflection, you're just repeating the same day over and over, hoping for different results. With it, you're evolving. Every single day, you're becoming a slightly better version of yourself. That compounds. Give it a year, and you won't recognize who you've become. The perfect routine isn't about perfection. It's about systems. It's about designing your day so tightly that your future self has no choice but to succeed. The samurai didn't become legendary through sporadic bursts of effort. They became legendary through daily practice, repeated until it became who they were. That's what you're building here, not a routine, an identity.